Leader to leader, let's talk. If you're watching this, you want to lead at a higher level, not just for the title, but for the real impact you can create. But here's the truth, achieving that impact and sustaining it year after year doesn't happen by luck. Welcome to the channel. If you're a wealth advisor leader of business who's tired of the noise and ready to build something that actually lasts, then this is for you. These videos aren't theory. They're built from real execution, real leadership, and real result. Pulled from 23 years as a nationally ranked top advisor, leader, and executive, leading multi-billion-dollar wealth management teams. Let me ask you a question. Do you remember the time you first decided to go into leadership? What was your reason? Most who decide to go into leadership do it to help others grow and be more successful. But yeah, some, they do it for the title. But let's be honest, we've seen it all in this industry. Some leaders arrive with vast amounts of experience. Others, well, they land in their roles because they knew the right people, play the right internal games, or even got it through pure luck. But this is not about how you got here. It's about what you're going to do now. Even for those leading at a high level, there's always another level. Leadership is static. The moment you stop growing is the moment your team starts to fall behind. But here's the truth nobody wants to say out loud. If you're falling short on strategy, culture, and consistent execution, and you're not learning why and shifting your mindset and behaviors to fix it, you're exposed. And here's what makes it worse today. Most leaders aren't getting the coaching to develop they actually need from their managers, because most of their leaders are focused on their own results, their next strategy, their next rollout, not always on developing their people. Yes, some do invest in their teams, but most expect that if you're in this role, you already have the skills to deliver. Otherwise, in their eyes, you shouldn't be in the position in the first place. And if you actually do get coaching for some of them, it's usually just online training manuals or generic leadership seminars that aren't tailored to you. Nothing specific to your industry or anything you can actually use day to day. So when you realize you need help, and I mean real help, you hesitate to ask for it, because the moment you do, it raises questions. Questions about whether you're ready, whether you're the right person for the role, whether your team, your peers, your business partners start to see the cracks. So what do? You keep it all to yourself. You keep hoping you can figure it out before anyone else notices. But leadership gaps don't close themselves. And hoping no one notices, that's not a strategy, that's a countdown. Yeah, you could run harder, grind longer, and hope it pays off. And it might for a little while. But it all ends up the same way, with negative consequences and a future far from what you truly envisioned when you first got into leadership. You know, one of the things I was taught early in my business career, show me your business circle and I'll show you your future. That applies to leadership too. If you're surrounded by people who play small, guess what? You're going to shrink to fit. If you're surrounded by leaders who never got it done, guess what? You'll stay stuck trying to figure it out. But if you're surrounded by leaders who got it done, who are still doing it, who think bigger, move faster, and execute sharper, that's when the game for you changes. Here's something else I've seen over and over. This trap catches leaders at every level, and it really comes down to one simple thing. Leaders who aren't being developed or coached default to what they can control. And what do they control? The same thing their leaders focus on. The numbers. So they manage up, report results, and hope it's enough. But here's the problem. When you're just managing up, you're not leading your team. You're not driving strategy. You're not executing outcomes. You're just moving data up the chain. Then you turn into something worse, a micromanager. Someone so focused on controlling small outcomes that you lose sight of leading people to bigger ones. When leaders start micromanaging, culture erodes. People feel controlled, not trusted. Your turnover starts to increase. Even your high performers don't stay in this environment, where they're not getting any empowerment to grow. And leaders who are only managing up or micromanaging eventually get replaced because they're not creating any value for their people, their companies, or the cultures they're supposed to lead. And before we go any further, here's what I want you to reflect on today. What are your real leadership strengths? Not just what's on your resume, but the areas where you truly want to create impact. Maybe you have an operational mindset, keeping processes tight and efficient. Maybe it's your ability to build strong client relationships that drive business. Or maybe it's your skill at simplifying complexity so your team stays focused. Or maybe it's your confidence in making tough calls when others hesitate. Now ask yourself, are you using these strengths in a way that actually moves your team forward? Or are these just traits you're known for without being leveraged to create any results? Because here's the truth. Your strengths will only take you so far, and your weaknesses will always create ceilings you can't break. Until you get the right coaching to close these gaps, focus on leveraging your strengths to drive impact today. Because leadership isn't about being perfect. It's about driving results on what you can do today while you build what you need for tomorrow. So again, ask yourself, are you actually leading or just managing up? Are you empowering your people or just micromanaging them? If your team lost you tomorrow, what would be your legacy? What would they say that you really brought to the success? Or would they all have a sigh of relief that you're no longer there? And what if you're already performing at a high level? I want you to ask yourself this. What would happen if you actually closed your gaps and operated at your true potential? Because strong leaders aren't threatened by growth. They're driven by it. So what's the solution? It's simple, but not easy. First, no matter what anybody tells you and how good you think you are, everybody needs some level of coaching. Yeah, you can read books, you can take online courses, or sit through another leadership seminar filled with frameworks you'll never implement. But here's the truth. Those options give you the information, and information alone is not enough. Real coaching isn't about just knowledge. It's about results. People operate with ownership because they know exactly what winning looks like. And by doing it, you're not just leading a team, you're building a legacy. A culture outlasts you, grows beyond you, and delivers results that prove your leadership was never about you. It was about what you and your team built. Most leaders never get this coaching. They'll spend years trying to piece it all together, but most never do. But you don't have years, you have now. And here's the reality. Every day you wait, it's a day closer to being found out. So if you're ever serious about building a business that actually performs, become the leader your team truly needs, and creating a culture where results are the standard, you have two options. You can keep doing what you're doing, hoping no one notices, or you can fix it now with someone who knows how to put every puzzle piece together. So what's next for you? Every week I'll be diving deeper into the critical moves that help leaders like you and top advisors break through plateaus and reach elite levels. We're cutting through the fluff and the guesswork. I'm going to deliver actionable strategies on everything from team performance to partner alignment, sales strategies to book management. If this message hits home, make sure you're subscribed and watching. You're in the right place. Whether you're committed to leading at a higher level or just elevating your team in the financial industry, this is EliteVate. Let's cut through the noise and build something that actually lasts.